In this video, I'm going to basically share with you everything I've done in the past year and a half to get from $0 in my Go High Level agency all the way up to $63,500 in sales, $27,000 in profit, 83% close rate, 100% show rate, and $27,000 to $3,000 monthly in reoccurring revenue. Lead Gen J has taught me how to do this on his 4-hour class. I left all my notes in the description below. This video is our Sunday Fun Day call. I've opened up my Zoom meetings in order to give back to the community, share with everybody what has worked for me. You can take it with a grain of salt, take it or leave it. But Jay has really helped me. The biggest problem I see is a lot of people are trying to build instead of go out and sell, and build these machines on the back end to get you more clients. This call is about 2 hours long. Watch it on 1.5x. We go through a lot of different things. Everyone can come to this Sunday class at 11 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, every Sunday. Ask your questions. I'll go over, and we don't really know what will happen. This video specifically talks about cold email, instantly, Lead Gen J, creating systems, creating a process flow using something that I love called PlantUML. I'm not going to talk anymore. Like, comment, subscribe, get the links below so that you can be a part of this call and learn exactly the strategic approach to building your business very quickly in less than 6 weeks. And I'll see you on the next video. Let's jump into it.
Yeah, so today I have been doing something that helps you stay organized, and I want to share it with you guys because it will help you when it comes to like formulating kind of what you want to do inside Go High Level. Stay organized. That goes hand in hand with what I do. What I do when I make these detailed or the project scope document on my sales calls. I don't use it all the time because I've used it so many times now that it helps me already in my head think the way that this works. And actually, Dustin is the one that showed me how to do this. So why don't I, Brandon, I'm going to ask you, or you ask me your question, and this actually might help you depending on what your question is. I can use it as an example. So ask me what's up, and then
and if it doesn't, we can go into it and we could recircle back to my question if that works. But, I was just trying to pick up where we are going back and forth last week. Was waiting to hear back from you. I just assumed you got busy because we were having some chats about your approach with the project scope document. And my question was, in that first cold email, when you say, would you like me to shoot some more information over? Reply yes. You explained to me that yes, everything is in steps, but you're not sending them any information to book a call. But on the call, you're selling them the next call, which I get. But if someone replies yes to your first email, can I shoot some information over? Reply yes, and they do reply yes. What are you sending to them? Are you not getting them on that first call to sell them the second call?
Yeah, I do. So the first email, everything lines up in steps, right? So
right.
The first email is always reply yes if you're interested, or reply yes if you want me to send you the case study. Reply yes if you want to see the demo in action, whatever it is, right? And wherever that is located, you have your calendar on it, right? So for me, like if I reply in the demo is automatically going to set up the meeting. So I wouldn't even say anything about setting up a meeting. Let the AI go and set up the meeting, right? And at that point, now you have their name, phone number, email, and you can text them and put them into a subsequence inside instantly. That now says, hey, how'd you like the demo, right? But the demo does such a good job with the core 4 that you probably don't need to do that. Like if they don't find interest in that, then it doesn't apply to them. So like you just keep it moving. You're feeding your machine of all your emails, all your contacts, and you'll just get new meetings set up, right?
Sure. So you're using the demo within the core 4.
I personally don't. No, I'm not. But like what I do is I send out a case study for
Yeah.
what the AI did for one of my clients.
Yeah. And I don't have that. So I'm trying to figure out like what could I use in place of that because I'm at the very start of this.
Yeah, I mean, I just send them the demo. Like that's all they need.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And this kind of goes to what Scott and I were talking about after Friday's call. Like I'd love to use some that markets demo, the voice AI demo. I think that's really strong, but
yeah. So watch, I'm going to show you now how to stay organized. This is going to help you, right? So let me pull up ChatGPT. Let's start out a new thing. I'm going to share.
so real quick, Nick, just that might tie into my second question, lead magnets, because I know Lead Gen has got this thing lined out
I mean, you said it leads into your next question. What?
about lead magnets.
Uh-huh.
Do you use those in your cold emails? And maybe, there's
That's what the demo is, a lead magnet. The
Yeah.
case study is a lead magnet. A
Yeah,
list
okay.
of things like, what's your niche?
Well, when I signed up for this email system, I said that I was doing like home residential commercial service businesses. So I've got a list of 10,000. I'm going to start with that. That's not necessarily the niche I'm going to stick with and pursue full time, but it's a starting point.
All right, let me show you that. Let me show you something. Normal, Titan, now, X-Stage.
Well, where are you putting these Sunday recordings?
On the Google, on my YouTube channel.
Okay, I just want to know where you'd like to grab them.
I think it's cool. Okay, I'm going to show you here. All right, we're going to go through this. I'll help you. So this is something that I built out from a friend of mine that did this. Now, I'll send this to you, but here's a lead magnet that I made for home service leads, right?
Mhm.
And so we went through, and this is straight from a friend. He was using it in a different thing. He wrote all this out. I changed it and mixed it up, but this is like an educational thing. So it just talks about, I'm willing to bet that you're missing out on a significant amount of revenue in your home service business. Don't worry, it's not just you. Let me let these people in. Okay. All right, so here's like a lead magnet that I used for home service, right? So you're not the only one. What's the error? It's taking the simple and easy route when it comes to their marketing. Well, it's not necessary. In any given industry, only 4% of the market is ready to buy at any given time throughout the year, right? So then I had ChatGPT make a graph. We call this the decision phase, right? And it works, but your problem is your competitors are doing the same thing as you, which they are, right? They're all doing the same. So they are often approaching the homeowners in the exact same way on the same platforms. This creates market saturation. If you don't want to get lost in the noise, you must look outside the box. Besides the 4% of the market who are ready to buy, there's another 18% of the market who isn't just yet, but they will be soon enough, within 3 to 18 months. We can think of these two groups as the ready to buy and the future buyers. Believe me when I say that untapped opportunities can be seized if you develop a system for your home services to engage, nurture, and convert the future buyers crowd. Why am I so confident in making this statement? Because over the years as a marketing consultant, I've been able to help this, blah, blah, blah. So then I created this, the ENC funnel, right? You have the homeowner, engage, nurture, convert. So the ENC stands for engage, nurture, and convert, right? We go into this, and then like I created this to set them up specifically for the core for AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're going through and You're educating these people. So your first email could be a lead magnet to, hey, are you interested in picking up 18% of the market who might buy and clean up your competitors because they're focused on 4% that everybody's competing for? I have a new system, a new way of of getting you in front of people who want to buy for really, really cheap, right? And then you just run them to something like this, right? We all have to change the key to unlock a slightly different door, blah, 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 educate your audience. So now you're teaching them how to build out certain lead magnets for themselves, right? So what works is listicles, basically top 10 lists related to your business. In your industry, you have a wealth of insider knowledge that might be taken for granted, right? Again, we're not selling anything. We're not even discussing prices. This is how I always sell, right? We're not selling. So we're simply, and then here's what I went through. Like, then it's like, why am I the person to help you with your business? Oh, here in the Riviera Maya with my real estate company, I wrote a book as a lead magnet for the Riviera Maya blueprint, how to buy property in Mexico. This goes into how to save 36% on your taxes, right? And so when I ran ads to it, this is what they were downloading. And so you can use this to, kind of like use this as a lead magnet to get people to book, right? So you host something like this where you're educating the home service providers on how can they pick up 18% of the market share that they're not doing it through creating a simple two-step ENC, funnel for whatever. Because here's the thing. The easiest clients to work with are people that already have leads, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're sending out cold emails and you're sending this or something like this and I'll send this to you. Don't copy this word for word, but run it through. Where's the chat?
And Nick, you mentioned that you might include this in the first email.
No, I never include anything in the first emails.
That's what I thought.
I make them write back if they want it.
Yeah, and then
make it a little difficult. You don't want to send a link right away.
No.
So the email would be like, hey, I created this amazing 3-step process. It's called the ENC funnel, or that sounds like kind of selling it. Hey, my name is Brandon. Came across your website. I saw that you do power washing for homes. We help power washers, get more business by getting leads for less and qualifying the leads before they're on the call with your team, something along those lines. And then you'd say like, what we've seen help, our most successful clients is they're outperforming their competitors following something that I call the ENC funnel. How we do this is we educate your homeowners during their buying process so that your homeowners respect you and they come to the meeting knowing exactly what you do. And this has shown a 23% increase in revenue in just 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is, right? And if you're interested, I can send you the process. It's free, it's this, it's that, whatever. It's just a link. You can read it, right? Because now at the end of this, there's a schedule a call, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they reply to you, you send this to them, have your AI right here, right? And just have one call to action on everything. Like this, you make great videos, dude. You might be able to just turn this into a video. instead of reading. I'm not good at making videos. I'm better at writing. But for you, you might just have a little VSL landing page with, hey, I'm going to, like what you showed me the other day.
Right.
Video, right? And that is what you send people to. Send them to a VSL. Send them to something like that to get them interested. It's I always say it's like meeting a girl or talking to a girl in a bar. You're not going to go up to her and say, "Hey, I like your shoes. Have you thought about getting married? Like, would you be my wife?" Like, she might laugh at that, but I mean, you're not going to do that. You're going to be like, "Hey, I saw you standing over there. You know, where are you from?" You're not even going to ask her for her number in the first, 30 seconds. Like, hey, unless, I mean, some guys, but you know what I'm saying. It's like you get to know her a little bit. Then you say, cool, my friends are over here or we're going to another spot. You're more than welcome to join us. If not, can I get your phone number and I'll hit you up and we can go get dinner or we can go get breakfast, right? You give them that out. You give them that decision. And then the girl can either come with you right now to the other bar with your friends, or she can say, no, but you can have my number. And then 2 days later, you text her, hey, remember me? I met you at the bar the other night, right? Think of it like that. Whenever you're trying to sell this, it's like, be yourself, give almost an out, right? Like the next the next email is going to be like, hey, the other day I sent this amazing, idea to a bunch of other people. We had a great turnout. Even if you didn't, like, it's marketing, right? You don't have to like, one person that responded is a great turnout. I mean, there's no way to judge that, right? And you can tell them, like, we had a great turnout. People are really using this. Before we part ways, I just wanted to see if this would interest you. And then you'll get some people to be like, what am I missing out on? Right? It's almost like playing hard to get. And then you'll start to get more people in there. So look, this is perfect for what I said in the beginning, because now I'm going to show you something that's going to help you get this organized, I think, and it might help a lot of people here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on my phone, and then I'm going to put it into ChatGPT, because I'm going to do it on my phone. So what I do is pull up ChatGPT on my phone, right? And I'm going to help you, Brandon. I'm going to start a new chat. Okay, so I have ChatGPT on my phone, and I'm going to hit this little microphone, and I'm going to talk about, let me get my thoughts organized of what we need to do. We need to make a cold email strategy, and we want to do I'll make this, we want to do a 5-series cold email strategy. We're going to get the flow down properly, right? So I'm going to make this kind of difficult for ChatGPT to understand it, so that we can get something in a visual organized with something that is called PlantUML. So, all right, I'm going to put it here, then I'm going to copy and paste it because it's going to transcribe it, and then I'll put it on my computer and show my screen. So I want to make a funnel, an email sequence, and I'm using Instantly, and I have like a 5-step email sequence. And what I need you to help me with is organizing the sequences for getting people to book a call. I need a few ideas from you for we're going to be working in home services. And so what we do is we sell AI chatbots. We sell CRM systems using something called Go High Level. Now, we don't necessarily talk to the prospect about it up front. We more are focused on the solution-based approach. And so what I need you to help me with is create this sequence and create a funnel. So the first email would be a lead magnet.
and that lead magnet is going to go out and request them to book a call. So then I need in this, this document that I'm asking you to help me create, I need to have everything organized where they go to a landing page, the landing page books on my calendar, and then from there, where does it go into another subsequence, right? And so we have to have a lead magnet. We have to have a second follow-up email sequence. And then maybe my third email would be a link to a landing page, right? And I need to have that organized to where they can see like a VSL or something along those lines. Then my fourth email would be probably a hard, are we going to book a call or are we not? And then number 5, you can make up how you want it to be. I'm hiring you as my chief marketing officer. So I'd like for you to ask me a few questions before we get started so this can help you organize everything. I want to put everything in a PlantUML diagram. So I need you to write the code for that and we can get started. Can you please ask me some questions of what we need to do in order to make this successful? So that's how I talk to ChatGPT, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all of this here. Sometimes I don't know exactly what I'm going to say because it's on the fly. But the biggest thing is I ask it to ask me questions back so that it can spit back what it thinks before it starts working on it, right? So I just put this in and now it's going to ask me some questions. So Brandon, let's do this for what you're doing. Like we might as well just help you build this out, right? So 1, what specific lead magnets are you offering in the first email? Is it something like a free guide, a checklist, or another resource related to home services? Any preference or format? Yeah. So, it could be, this is a guide on how to get leads at less than $5 covering a new market in the area where the home service provider is located. I'm making this up, but we got kind of get an idea. In each email, what tone do you want to use the call to action? In each email, what tone do you want to use for the call to action? Suggestive, like consultative approach, as well as suggested.
Nick, can I just ask real quick too while you're writing this out? Would you also consider the angle that we have too much business? We're not looking to take on new leads. We're maybe trying to manage what we have a little bit more efficiently. Because I've seen that a lot too.
Of course. So all of this is super broad, right?
Yeah.
Like you just want them to respond, like the girl in the bar. Are they showing any interest? Do they have an objection right away? Right? Like if someone's like, no, we have too many leads. Well, that just shifts the conversation from, okay, well, I was going to sell you. That's why I was telling you a couple of weeks ago is like, don't create a package because always go through this process, because if you create a package, it's like, no, I don't want that. It gives them an easy way out to say, no, that's not going to work for me. Why is it not going to work for you? And then now you're defending yourself trying to sell them something, right? Yeah. So if you keep it broad and you keep it open, then there's no way they could get by you. It's like, oh, I got something for that. Oh, I got something for this. Like, so if they say, yeah, I got too much, cool. How many people have you hired in the past 6 months to help you with that? Right? Like, well, we haven't, that's a problem. Okay. Or we've hired 3 and they haven't worked out. Oh, okay. So now you're playing Mr. HR while you're trying to run your business, right? Yeah. Okay. Right. So you can just adjust your next question to whatever their answer is or was.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through this really fast because this stuff is kind of pointless, but like landing page detail, how detailed do you want the landing page should be? We're just going to have a VSL or visual content. Don't worry about that. 5 target audience. What are the biggest? All right. So what are the biggest pain points? They have too many unqualified leads and wasting time on phone calls, right? 6, follow-up tone. How do you want to say it? I already have this. I'm just trying to get to this PlantUML thing. Final email. Do you find any specific triggers for automations based on whether prospects open the email or click the link? Yeah, you can make this. Want to use this. So now I'm gonna make it use this as an example to just show you what I'm talking about. You can go back and do this yourself, but I'll show you how this works because it's going to create an awesome diagram that will give you everything you want right there in 2 minutes. So I want to use this as an example. Called PlantUML. Okay, so now we come over to here to this website. We go to just Google UML. This is the website. And then I come all the way to the bottom. They change their website. How do I get, look, they changed this. So you got to come down here. And where to go. I think we started maybe. Okay, so that's how you have to go through it. It used to be at the bottom. So you just click getting started and then on online server right here. Okay, and then you come back to ChatGPT and then this will give you a code, right? And all you do is you paste this code into here and hit submit. And what it does is it gives you an entire, it'll give you an entire diagram of anything that you want to build, right? So I use this to help me kind of organize my thoughts, organize all of this, and then I can say, okay, no, let's change this. So like, here's your subject, right? Gets lead, right? Now we can come back here and we can say, okay, this is great. Now, can you tie this into how we would use Go High Level and where, booking process happens and how to hand this off to chatbot, AI, etc. Use it as an example and remake the code. So you can go through and communicate with ChatGPT to make this diagram. At this point right now, I'm just making this up, right?
Yep.
But like I did this the other day for what I'm doing. I can't find that diagram because what happens is it saves this URL. So this URL lives forever. So you can put this in a document and then you can go back to it and see it later. Right? So now watch. Now I will give out a whole nother document or a whole nother thing. This is super helpful when you're trying to build a funnel or so let's see what this one looks like. So watch, if you see how that just changed. So now it goes like this, and you can say, okay, actually make the diagram in a linear format. It's easier for me. And you can do this for each sub one too, right? So you can do like, okay, your lead magnet email or your like just do it for the emails, right? Don't incorporate your go high level stuff in there. Like call to action, link click. Because sometimes what I used to use is like this free form. And then you got to draw all this stuff out yourself, right? Like this one, this is so long ago. This is from May 2023, right? So like I used to have to draw all this out. This was for my real estate stuff. But now you can just go through and talk to ChatGPT and have this PlantUML document created so that you can stay organized. Does this help anybody?
Yeah, it's helpful. Can you share the GPT that you created so we can follow this flow? There's a lot of steps here, and some of them I've never done.
Yeah, like what I do is like, I'm trying to think. I can share this. Yeah, no problem.
I just so I can see the flow. I think this is brilliant. It's just there's a lot to get in one look at it.
Yeah, the easiest way to do this is I literally just have I blabber my thoughts out. Like, let me think of one. Like this is more like a 30,000 foot approach thing to it than it is like to get nitty gritty, because each one of these now becomes a task, right? Or like something. So let me think of something. I usually just talk, and then at the end, I just say, can you turn this into a PlantUML document? And then it'll just go through and do everything. So let's say, let me think of an example quick. Because, well, Paula, what do you have? Does anybody else have anything that they're working on right now that they feel stuck?
I think that Brandon and I are kind of in the same area. However, I'm using the demos of the actual products as my lead magnet at the moment because they work. But I like what you're doing here, and I can expand on this a lot. You know, I'm digging in on the voice part right now, and the demos that I'm building are they will answer a lot of questions because I'm using AI to actually answer the questions.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love the way that you put this flow together and how you took that lead magnet, and I'm learning some things there too as we're going through of what to send them to first. So Brandon and I were talking on Friday, and it was like, where do you send them? Well, I'm using the demos because what I have. I don't have that much social proof yet, but I'm about to. So it's kind of like, what do you do until then? Well, the best thing to show somebody is, hey, it works. Just use it. Somebody the other day say, oh, your website's not that pretty. Well, I'm not a website designer guy. I'm a flow guy. So if you want to see how it works, this is how it works. It changes the conversation. It's like, that's
Okay. So you're selling the Marcus or the Core 4 AI, correct?
I'm selling both, and then I'm selling a combination of the two together
Okay.
as a combined, overall AI solution from taking both of them and putting them into one product.
Okay. So let's think of like 30,000 foot approach, right?
Okay. Yep.
I'll do this with ChatGPT here. Let me plug my phone.
And that was great too, because I didn't even think about picking up my phone to do it. And of course, on my Intel version of my Mac, it's like they don't have a local version that supports my Intel, so I got to go grab my other one. But off the phone is a great idea.
Yeah, well, if you're logged in on ChatGPT or your phone, it logs in on.
Yeah, it booted straight up. I was like, I just never thought about doing what you're doing. I think this is a brilliant solution.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna do this, and we'll I know what I'm gonna do.
Cool.
So I want to sell like AI chatbots to businesses, and I need to create a PlantUML document on the flow of everything so that I can divvy out what I need to do in a visual, process. So what we're going to do is we're going to be doing cold email out to a bunch of different people. I don't know where I'm going to get that list from yet, but I know that I want to do cold email and I want to do some sort of marketing in the masses to get people to come through and go to a landing page. On that landing page, there's going to be some information like lead magnet. And in the emails, people will respond and they'll either say, yes, they're interested or no. Once they do that, in order to keep our inboxes clean and not end up in the spam folder, we're going to send them our calendar link. And from that calendar link, there's two ways that they can get into that calendar link. They can come from the AI chatbot demo, or they can come from they responded and said yes. And so what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to have a meeting with them. And from there, then I have to set up a contract. And from that contract, I then have to send out an invoice after that. And then I have to send it off to my team to get built. And during that process, the team is going to have meetings with the client because they have to go through their project scope. Oh, and even before that, what's going to happen is I have a 3-step sales process. So when I'm going to sell this, I have a 10-minute, discovery call to see if they qualify or just see if they want to move forward. They pay $150 to $300 to do to have me make what I call a project scope document. And that project scope document is really the proposal. And on the third phone call, then I present that project scope document. And I actually sent that project scope document to my team first, and they responded back and gave it to me. So the third phone call isn't completed until I have received the project scope document back from my team to present to the client to sell it. So can you organize all of this and put this in a PlantUML diagram so that I can have a high view visual of how all of this can flow so that I can get my business organized and figure out what I need to do. So that's literally how I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I got to sell it first. I got to do this. I got to do that. Right. So now, I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to copy this. You're not seeing my screen. This will be a little bit better just because this is like what we actually are doing. And this will be just better. So put this in a plan. So I just transcribed all of that, right? And now we'll come back over here. Oh, well, let's let it give us the code first.
I love how you are using ChatGPT as an assistant to do the work. I mean, this part alone has opened my eyes to some things that I could be doing versus me sitting there bracking my brain on how to do it.
The second that I feel like, oh man, that's going to take me, I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Why don't I just have ChatGPT do this? Yeah, I use ChatGPT probably for 85% of my daily stuff. My girlfriend jokes with me, like, she's like, you talk to ChatGPT more than you talk to me.
We forget how much data and how much power is in it when you just are looking for it to organize things. And that's, I mean, hell, that's what we sell to our own clients, but we don't do it ourselves, right?
Yeah. So submit. Okay, this is a super crazy diagram. I don't like this diagram. So I'm going to say, I don't like layout. I don't like layout. This, that's why.
Nuts.
We can look, we'll look at this, how, oh shit, how this is, but like, this is way too much for me to view, for me. Right?
Mhm.
So,
I personally enjoy recreating these. It's also like taking notes and kind of going through it again. So I would personally just go through and recreate it myself based off that diagram.
you could just have ChatGPT do it for you. My screen keeps doing that for some reason. Did it just go black on you for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Like the one, so there's another one that it does where it's like a box, and it no, I'm gonna show you. Yeah, before do the box one where everything is located at the top and the arrows bounce back and forth. So this, what do you say?
Like a video doc.
Like Visio?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that's called? VIZO?
VISIO. Yeah. I'll give you the full true flow.
Yeah, this is
That's better.
better. Yeah, so the client, yeah, this is how I like to look at it. The client receives a cold email, responds yes, and then now you can say like, no, you're an idiot, ChatGPT. Where this happens, that doesn't go there. It has to go this way, and then it'll go back and fix it, right? So, visit landing page. I didn't know that was called Visio. That changes my perception now on the TVs. Downloads the lead magnet, receives the calendar invite, books a discovery call, attends a 10-minute discovery call, qualify the lead. See, like, qualify the lead, send invoice. No, like, this is where it would not work, right? So then we come back here, we say, okay, after qualifying the lead, we're not sending an, oh yeah, we do send it. Yeah, that's
You are.
Yeah,
It's still
you're sending that invoice.
because look at the top. Scroll up to the top. It's saying salesperson. So those are your actions.
exactly.
Yeah.
The thing
It's going down.
right? So if no, I assume this would be like, if no, then it goes back to here. So now you have this document, you have something to work with, right? So now each one of these boxes is a task to do. Receives a cold email. Now you have to go and write, 5 emails or 10 emails or 3 emails, right? And then if they respond yes or no, if they go to no, what do you want to do, right? Usually if they don't respond, then I just keep it moving. I don't even bother with them. Like, they're not worth my time anyway. And they're just not interested. Now, if you keep getting a ton of no's, either now this is where
instead of going through and building all this out, right? You could build this structure out, but instead of building all this out, just stop right here until you get a bunch of yeses to move to the next step. Because if you go and build this out, this is going to take you a week and a half to do stuff. And then you find out after a week and a half that no one's interested. Well, you just spent a week and a half doing all this stuff for no reason, right? Now you can build out kind of like the puzzle pieces that you know will work once you land something either from your cold email or the YouTube comments or the stuff that I talk about in the course. But this is going to allow you to see everything. Then visit the landing page. Okay, now you can create the landing page to send to that person. Now you need to create lead magnets, right? Obviously the calendar link, I mean, that's pretty easy to do and go high level, the call. But like this, okay, when they book the call, what's the automation that needs to go through there? So now you can come back here and you can say, okay, this is way better, right? And then
Nick, can I just clarify something real quick that you just said?
Sure.
If they don't respond to your email, you don't follow up with them with like another 2 or 3 emails?
Yes. What I mean is like let's go to my instantly campaign. All right. So like I have, all right, I'm going to go to my other one. I have all these people, right? 14 people replied, 10 people replied, 5 people, 7, 4, 2, 4, 1, right? All these people replied and they're just going through, like they haven't replied to book a call, or some of them are replying like, hey, remove me from, like, please opt out. Can you please remove me from this list, right? Hey, Nick, what are the costs of your services? So this guy's interested. I reply to him. This guy I have a meeting with next week. I reply to him. I don't reply to any of these red ones, right? Some of these are like, thanks for your email. I'm currently out of the office. You know, we're currently out of the office, right? So look at all these negative responses that I'm getting out of these thousands of emails, right? All these people, no, we're not interested. We're not interested. I'm out of office. Please remove me. Look at all these bad ones, right? Then all these good ones, these are the ones that I'm responding to. So this is where that machine is that I'm telling you, like, comes into play. As long as I keep feeding this, I know I'm going to get bad responses, but I'm landing maybe 3 meetings, 4 meetings a month from this. Now I just need to figure out how am I going to get more of these emails, right? And so, like, one of the guys that I have a meeting with, he didn't respond until the 11th email, or maybe the 12th email sequence, or the 10th, right? He had been getting these for a long time, and I must have said something in one of the other emails that's like, okay, I wouldn't suggest doing this many emails, like 13, or if your thing is very, simple. The niche that I'm in right here is a little bit difficult, but it's landing me meetings. And so, like, you're not going to respond to these people. Like the ones with the reds, you're not going to respond to them. Like, can you please remove me from your email list? Yeah, I'm not going to respond. The ones with blue are usually like, I'm currently out of office. I need to ask Lee and Jen J about this. Like, this isn't going to send them messages anymore, emails anymore.
There's a setting in Instantly where you can choose to or not choose to.
Yeah, I don't know the best practices for that. But, like, because it just stops them, right? So, I don't know. But,
you could take all those, put them in another flow, and just wait a little while and send them again.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And just take that response, put it into a subsequence, wait a week, and resend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Just catch it back up to where it led.
Let it sit for a week or two, because most people are out of office for a week or two. Unless a lot of salespeople, though, if you're reaching out to them, might be out 2 or 3 days and back, just depending on what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe I could just do a subsequence and copy that subsequence, put a wait step.
Yeah.
That's a great idea because I do get a lot of those.
Yeah, you will. I mean, I get the same thing.
Those are potential people that possibly could still sign up or want a meeting. They just
Hey, while you're on your instantly, I changed gears. I'm curious, what's your bounce rate look like after you're cleaning on your list? If you go up and you put your cursor over, bring it up over the 39, your bounce rate's amazing.
Well, I clean all of it through Million Verifier.
Is that the only verifier you use?
It's the best one.
Yeah, I've been using Instantly in when it's
Instantly should do it too. So
yeah, I like it. It's affordable, and as you're loading the list, you can just clean them as you go.
Yeah. I just used the Million Verifier one. Okay, so now what we were gonna do is come here, and we were gonna go through. They booked a discovery call. They received the calendar link. I was gonna say like, and this, what was I gonna do? Something about go high level. Now, I want a separate PlantUML document for how I would build all this inside go high level and map it out properly and use the same info we just went over with the previous code to the PlantUML. So then now keep clicking on that because it looks like this. So what I would do is I would create a document, right? And I would put this URL in there so that, because this saves it forever. Like this is created somewhere on the internet and this is the location, right? So you can make a document for, damn, I don't know how long Mauricio was sitting there. Was that show? I didn't see that. Sorry, Mauricio. I don't know how long you were sitting there in the waiting room. So you would save this. You'd save this document somewhere, and then we'd create a new one. So now we're moving into the next thing. And so I'll open up another PlantUML website.
Those PlantUML documents exportable like PDF, or are they just off that? Okay.
You can export it as a PNG.
Oh, cool. SVG. Okay. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I don't know what those other ones are, but so now you come here. So you can go through and do all this stuff like this, right? So now it's just mapping out everything that you need to do. So send a cold email, send a cold email campaign, landing page created with the lead magnet, collect the lead info, lead responded, right? And what you could do if you want to get even more crazy is, where would I have a, you could go here and you could take like, you could take something like this. I want like the 00100 like this. You can get it super organized. You could copy this and say, okay, listen, make it similar to this of how the structure is, and then put that in here. And then each one of these can have its own different PlantUML stuff.
I'm not trying to confuse anybody. Like this, you don't have to make it more difficult than it needs to be. This is just how I utilize this very quickly to see, okay, this is how I would structure this. Okay, now I understand. And then I go and I build everything this way. It's just it's like an added on. It's just really to get everything out of your head and put it into a visual in like 35 seconds. And it shouldn't, like, I hope I didn't confuse anybody. Like, Brandon, does this confuse you?
No, it doesn't. I think it's a great approach to like map this out, because I do that too when I take notes in my notes on my Mac. I'll sort of do it in steps like this, but to like brain map it like you showed here with the PlantUML approach, I think is just another useful tool to really dial it in, you know?
Yeah, because what I found myself doing is like I was sitting there doing like this type of stuff. This was a year ago. And then me and Dustin were sitting down and like, bro, just talk to ChatGPT out loud and tell it what you're trying to do. And then it will just do it for you in the thing called PlantUML. And I was like, really? And so we started doing it. I mean, there's all kinds of different graphs that this thing can make. It depends on what ChatGPT thinks that it can come out to, or like the best one that it can come out to be. But if you're like, no, I don't like that, you know, do a different one. It'll do a different one. And then you just tell it like, okay, I like this works. Go through here, see how it flows. And then these are all your to-do lists, really. Create the project scope, review the project scope. This up here is like, you know, make the cold emails, you know, or this could be like the landing page, right? So visit the landing page. This is where this is going to be something that you actually have to build, right? And then everything above here, it doesn't matter how they get to the landing page. It could be cold email, it could be Facebook ads, it could be, you know, a YouTube comment that you commented and told them to go there. It could be anything.
And Nick, you talked about building this out, wasting time before they were interested. So you're trying to qualify them to see if they're interested before you build this out. If they say that they are, then are you kind of in a race to get this completed to send them to that landing page? Can you just sort of open that up a bit?
No, because I mean, if you had, so for instance, a perfect example, I made some posts in the official Go High Level community to have this call. Someone actually was like, dude, you should have this call. And I was like, oh, okay. I never even thought about that. And then the guy posted that on a comment, and I got like 112 comments on the page, on the Facebook post. But I wasn't gonna go build it out before. Like, I never even thought about having these calls, and then some guy just suggested it. So then I just built a little page of a form, like literally, join the Sunday Fun Day call on Sundays at 11 a.m. Join the wait list. And then I posted it back in the group. And I had like 20 people or something sign up. At this point, there's like 79 people that have signed up for this. So I know that this is something that people want.
Right.
It might not be the time for the 11 a.m. Sundays is not working for everybody because other people have told me that. So now I have this call set up, but I wasn't going to go build out a landing page, build out this, build out that without me knowing that, okay, this is something that's worth my time to get people into these calls. One, it helps me with content on YouTube, which is great. Two, it helps me, you know, build relationships with everybody here and provide this to you so that you can, what's it called? That you can, you know, we can get on sales calls together. Ideally, like, I'm doing this for free, but I want you guys to be successful so I can be up on your sales calls. And if you're not a member of our partnership program, it's like, get in the partnership program, right? Because at the end of the day, Adam and Brandon, they have an affiliate program. And we all have the opportunity to drive people there. But again, this is my way of selling, right? And so if I said, hey, join the partnership program, here's the link, it's like people are going to look at it and be like, no, this guy's just trying to sell me something, right? So at the end of the day, technically speaking, I am selling you guys the partnership program because I would be an affiliate. But that's up to you to come if you want to come to these Sunday calls. I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, guys, no, go and join the partnership program. No, I'm going to provide all the value that I can. And people gave me that. And I basically someone else a bunch of other people validated this other guy's idea. And I just went with it. So I didn't sit down and try to build all this stuff out. Like, it just naturally happened. And that's what I always say is like step by step by step. It's like meeting the girl in the bar. Go and talk to 15 girls and see which girl's going to come back and say, hey, yeah, I'd like to go on a date with you. Then that one girl, use the same pickup line to the next 14 other girls. And if you get 8 of the girls to say, yeah, I'd love to go out to dinner with you, then you know that pickup line is working, right? So Brandon, when you're going and you're sending out these cold emails, like, see which ones are coming back and which ones you're getting like responses, and do the A/B testing, right?
Right. So when you say see which ones are coming back, you're saying like create a few different variations of that intro email. First, see which ones are red.
You'll change like your subject line.
Mm-hmm.
But then like A will be like, you know how in Instantly they have like, different variations, right? So A will be your standard one. Like, what is it called in the medical industry? They call it your, I forgot. It's your baseline, right? And then B would be a different subject line, same body, right? Then C would be, the same subject line, different body, right? And you just rotate it, or a different message, or a different way. But bro, don't think about it. Just have ChatGPT take it and say, hey, can you run me different variations? I'm trying to testing, figure it out, right? And then see which one hits. Now, if none of them are hitting, it's either the audience is bad or your messaging or what you're offering is bad, right? So in the first email stuff that I did a while back in August, before we went to Los Angeles, I was trying to get insurance agents to join a Facebook group, thinking that like Adam and Brendan have this amazing Facebook group. Everybody's in it, is very active. No one wanted to fucking join a Facebook group that's as an insurance agent. Like, it just wasn't a thing, right?
Right.
Then you just change that up, right? You're going to get a ton of rejection. It's going to make you feel like you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing. And we don't. And you just keep adjusting and let it run. I mean, Lead Gen J says, let this stuff run for like 2 or 3 months to get the data, understand it, and make little tweaks based on the data, right? And then from there, then you can start building a landing page. Like, in my previous experience, in my experience working with a lot of people and seeing what's going on, is we get this idea of, oh, I'm going to do this. It's going to be great. I'm going to build it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then you spend 3 weeks building all this out. You might even pay a graphic designer. You might pay, a videographer to make this cool VSL. And then what happens is no one wants it. And then that's what creates the burnout. That's what creates the discouragement, because it's like, man, I just spent all this time, effort, energy, money on building this. I thought it was going to work, but you didn't take the time to figure out what was working before you went to the next step, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, baseline, Indy, the baseline, that's right. I'm looking at the all right, Paula, hopefully this stuff helps. I mean, it's the PlantUML thing has been a huge help for me, especially ADD and probably ADHD and all the other things that they tell you that I have.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's been very helpful. No, I like the visuals. I do use ChatGPT a lot. Just a couple quick questions for me this week. So I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. So I want to join the GHL Mastery Program. So I think I'm going to sign up for that. I just did a lead Gen J for the email setup. So I'm just waiting for that to get set up. So I can get my 2 weeks or whatever to warm up. So I just signed up for that on Friday. Just I think like two quick questions. So do you know if the GHL Mastery team does WordPress stuff too?
Um, like coding and building WordPress stuff.
Like websites? Because I run into people, so I have like a potential client and he has a WordPress site. And he does like big e-com stuff. So he has a decent store, but the website itself is horrible. I don't know WordPress at all. So just
Yeah,
wondering.
they can. I mean, Brendan, it just comes down to coding. If
Okay.
there's a client that needs help in WordPress,
Mhm.
they have a team that
They
will
can do it.
be able to do that. Now, it's always going to start at the project scope, right? So, like, they're going
Correct.
to the document of what needs to happen, and then how does that work inside Go High Level, or where does Shopify come in and communicate, add stuff to, the account of the QuickBooks, and who gets notified for the order. But yeah, they can do. I mean, they can pretty much do anything when it comes
Okay.
to.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to overstep in my thought process, right? I just need you to say yes. So, um, right. You know what I mean? I need somebody to tell me yes. I don't want to be over aggressive. And then the other question around the landing pages. So, because I want to focus on the consulting lane, I do a lot of in-person networking. So there are like two organizations locally that I'm really building strong relationships with. So a lot of those people I would need to send them somewhere. So I have a standard site with pricing for software subscriptions. I don't necessarily want to start with that anymore. So I feel like I need some type of landing page to talk about, kind of what my new process is. We're looking to do, whatever it is you need from that field. So I mean, would that be feasible to do?
Yeah. I mean, Scott and Brandon are in our group too. And the way that I would think the easiest way to do it is just put the AI on a landing page. Once they fill out the form, the AI is going to go and talk to them and figure out what they need, and then position you as the person for them, right? So the landing page could be super simple of like, you know, we build custom software solutions, fill out the form. My, my employee will contact you in the next 5 minutes, and we can go from there. And it will either decide, okay, do we want to set up a call? On the back end, we can adjust your AI to whatever it is that you want to do. But the landing page should be super simple, like, and maybe Scott or Brandon could jump in here and tell you what they do. I just saw Scott's hand go up, so I think he has something.
Yeah, I have questions for you, but I could also kind of answer Paul as well. So yeah, I am, and Brent and I were talking on this Friday. I have built very simple demo pages just for the purpose of test it out, right? So I've got one system that I built a while ago that when I saw what Nick was doing, I'm going a little bit different approach, but I was looking at doing Facebook ads. Now I'm like, okay, I can do this with cold email, but the whole goal of this is get them to try it, right? It's a 30-second demo, and when they do the demo, you're getting two advantages to it, right? They're doing the demo, but they're also, when they're raising their hand, they're putting their information in high level. So if I don't have their cell phone number, now I do. So it's kind of that double piece, and then on the voice part, I am building out outbound just to show them what it will do. Like if you're in this industry, imagine having AI do this instead of a person, where you're doing, and then the benefits of doing that. But with the new inbound, my brain has been on fire all weekend of how am I going to use this to have those conversations to already show them. I just use this to walk you through. Can you imagine what that will do when you have this in your company and it lets you walk? So I'm a big believer in let the product sell itself, and just using a very simple, my lead magnet where we, I love all these pages, but my general lead magnet is take the 2 seconds, see if you like it. If you do, let's talk. If you don't, move on. And then just let the AI do its thing, because it will sell itself if you just get them to take a quick look at it. So I'm building those things specific to an industry that I'm looking to talk to. If they're, like we're in home services, but I've got 32 niches inside of home services, and I have a specific form for each one of those that will lead them down a path to talk about that their situation.
My biggest.
So if I'm going out networking, I just have a very simple, almost like, this is who I am. These are the 2 things that I do or whatever, and try it out. And when they try it out, they're going to get on your calendar.
Yeah, I just need to drive people away from my website because it's a standard software website, like I said. So I need to create another domain name, because when we're doing the cold email, the domains that Jay and team create is going to mimic my standard website, right? So I don't want them to go there.
Your URLs are going to be lookalikes of that, and then be redirected to your main website should somebody look it up, and if they go up like I do and go, well, who sent this to me, and grab their URL, it'll still point it back. But when the email servers aren't picking that up, so Google's not picking it up, and everybody else. So
right, when it's redirected, I don't necessarily want them to go to my website and see the $297 a month or whatever is all I'm saying, right? So
I send them to a direct landing page, not to my core site on my.
Okay, that's what I need to do. Okay,
You leave it up, and it's still going to get you to see what I wanted you to see in the first place.
that's what I need to do. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for that. I'm all set. Those were the questions I had. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Cool. I got a question as far as when I see the list building that Lee, Jen, and Jay is doing and how you're doing it. And I started with a very specific, like everybody else, hey, go hit home services. Well, I can do that. And so far it's working okay for me. But if I want to go test out other niches, kind of like you are doing, and finding these offbeat niches, would you find the niche first and then go, hey, figure out how my product fits that? Or would you take I'm trying to figure out the order I want to go in, because again, home service is fine, but there's some really cool things that can be done. And I've seen some of your creativity, and it just go ask ChatGPT, hey, I'm looking, this is what I do, and give me some offbeat, niches that could use this.
Yeah. And I had a conversation with Brandon the other day, where he was asking, because we were talking about the proposal, right? And at the end of the day, all businesses are the same from the time they get a lead to the time that they have someone pay them. It's just, there's a book called The Messy Middle. There's just a mess in the middle of like what goes on between all of that, right? And that's what makes a business successful or really not successful. Is like, what's the shortest path to get from point A of becoming a lead to point Z, making them pay you, and then even after, right? So like if it's a subscription model, after they become a client and they pay you the first time, are they continuously paying you, or you have to keep finding new clients? Like a lawn care company. I mean, they're always looking for new lawns to cut, but if they do a good job, they're going to go back and they're going to keep cutting the same person's lawn, right? But so that's like promised money for a period of time. And then they also probably want to get new business as well in between, right? And so what I first do is I always look at, I try, and I have conversations with ChatGPT all the time, is what companies are always going to be in business and what companies like have a lot of money. That's why in my email course, my prospecting course, I go and I look at the LinkedIn, right? And I find, okay, the sales, the SDRs and the BDRs, the sales development representatives, the business development representatives. We know that those companies are hiring somebody for an $85,000 a year salary, $120,000 a year salary. So now you can find kind of similar businesses in there, right? Like a pharmaceutical company, a lighting company. I saw one with like they rent stages, right? So they rent like like AV, I don't know, stages, stuff like that. And so you can kind of see, all right, where can I get a list? So then let's say I'm making this up. I have no idea. I never looked at this, but stages. There's got to be a government website for like, in the center of town, like downtown when they have like, or go and look at like your state fairs, right? There's got to be like a state fair probably has a website of who's using who, like where those stages come from. I don't know, like a state fair has big stages, right? You know that those people have a business that they're looking to rent out their stages. They have those tents, like weddings, those white tents that you put in your backyard, like cutlery, culinary stuff. Like those companies, they have a lot of money because they sell it to big events. They just need more events, right? And so another thing would be like a funeral home, veterinarian cremation services. Like think about the client that they have. If my dog passed away, that dog is a part of your family, and like you're gonna spend money to. Some people will, maybe some will just bury the dog in the backyard, but like those companies, they charge a lot of money for cremation services for their pets, right? And so go and find all the veterinarians. Now, most of the veterinarians are being hit up. Hey, do you want to do Facebook ads? Hey, do you want to do that? This guy, Jeff Miller, you should follow him. You should join his group, Facebook. Like, I learned a lot from him where go and have a different conversation. He came up with, he had a huge example of like chiropractors. They were, like everybody else is hitting him up like, oh, I can do your Facebook ads. I can do this. He figured out what their main problem was by just calling them, not even selling them anything. And you know what they wanted? They wanted more tens units. You know those little things that you put on your, like it shocks you? When he just switched up his messaging, I can get you more tens unit clients. Every chiropractor, that's a secret that they have, because if you get them in a tens unit, one, you're making money off the unit, and two, now they come back in for a consultation because their body hurts or something. But it was the same exact thing as selling the Facebook ads. It's just his in was, I can get you more 10 clients, because in the chiropractor's head, that was like, if I can get more 10s unit clients, like 100% of them come back. That's a huge, I need more of that, right? So to prospect and the way of doing this is, I always just look at where is the money and where's the clients that have the money for your client, right, coming from. That way it's a win-win-win for the three people involved. It's a win for your potential client, it's a win for yourself, and it's a win for the client of your client, right? Does that make sense? And if you can create that little trifecta or even a superfecta of thing, then the money that they're going to pay you it's irrelevant at that point, because it's like, oh yeah, I can spend, for every dollar I put in, I get $3 back or $5 back. I'm going to put in $5,000. I'm going to put in $10,000 because I know I'm going to get that back. Right. And in our case, where we're selling AI and chatbots, where we're doing this, they have to have a business. Like, who's the AI going to talk to? Right. So you're going to qualify them by saying, like, do you already have leads coming in, or are you struggling with your own prospecting, with your, like, getting your name out there? Because if that's the case, then you could just hand them off to someone that or like Cody or Raul, to do their Facebook ads, and then say, when you get a bunch of leads coming in and you have like a proper business, then don't say it like that. But come back to me and I'll help you with keeping all the stuff organized so that you're not letting those leads that you paid for slip through the cracks.
Makes sense. Quick step back. You said join somebody's group, Jeff.
Jeff Miller, he has a group on Facebook called Facebook Ad Agencies. It has a cartoon of like a butt because it's called, let me find this. Facebook Ad Agency Scaling Secrets. I'll put it in that group chat right here.
Thank you.
Oh. This group, this guy, Jeff, he is really good. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, like, you know, following people and whatnot. He gets it. He's probably doing $200,000-$300,000 a month, and he just runs ads, very, very simple ads. But I would join this group. This group has a lot of good people in there. Some of it people are trying to sell, but you know, like get you as their client to run your Facebook ads. But what Jeff Miller posts on his websites and stuff, he has the school community, which I was a part of for quite some time. I learned a lot of stuff from him. A lot of stuff.
Put in the thing to join the group.
What did you say?
I said I just put in. I'm waiting. I filled in the thing to join his group so I can.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, and actually, I'm looking at it here. Like Dom's a part of it, Cody's a part of it. A lot of people are in here that I know. So, hey Teresa, how are you?
Hey, Nick, I'm good. I've got somebody coming in like 5 minutes, so
Is it the window guy? Is it the window guy?
no. I emailed him and did not hear back. So I may call. Yeah. I was just thinking when you started talking about the state fair and stuff, I have a client that I built their website, reliable, what is it? Rent a tent online is the name of them. They rent out all those tents and they don't have a process. So, when you reach out, because I was talking to somebody else who's doing Go High Level, he said, just start with your clients you have right now. And he said, what do I say to them, Mike? Oh, like, you don't have any processes in place. And so how would you start a conversation, I guess, with somebody that you have, already been working with?
Those are the easiest layup. Those are good to have. So this guy, this tent company, you build them their website, like you have their stuff.
Yeah.
They're your client.
That's what I do on, in my agencies. I build websites, I host them, and we do accessibility. So yeah, I built their website. I host their website, and I have several that I host and several that I've built. And I know that GoLevel could help them. I have not reached out to any of them because I guess that conversation, I don't want to make them mad because they're my client, but I don't want to come out and say, hey, I got something new. I think it really helped your business. That's all I can kind of think of. Is that the right?
Yeah. So, okay. So what you said there, I have something new. I think it can help your business. That's trying to sell something, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you want to ask them like, hey, so when we built this website, I assume there's a checkout. Is there a checkout on the website? Like they go, they select what tent they want. They go through like some sort of, let's call it a funnel, but or do they book a call, or how do they buy the tent on the website?
No, they just wanted to push them all either to a form or to call them. And then they quote them, because if they get the tent, do they want lighting? Do they need a dance floor? Do they need this? Do they need that? So they have all these options, when they're big tents for like an event.
Yeah. My sister had one for her wedding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just message them and say, hey, get them to talk. And I'm a very big advocate of asking open-ended questions. Hey, how's the website going? What are the phone calls like with the people calling you? Just leave it at that. And then they will be like, yeah, the phone calls are going well. We get a lot of people that, they misunderstood. They don't have the money. Ah, cool. How much, like, how long does that take for your like, is that like a waste of time? So what I hear is you're telling me like it's a waste of time because these people are not like qualified to rent the tent, or um are they giving you any feedback? Did they say like, anything about the forms? Are the forms not working? Just something to get them to start talking about whatever it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
how's the process going for you guys from the website that you built? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good compared to what? Like what we were doing prior? Could it be better? Right? And then
Yeah.
they'll just start to say something. And then eventually, if you keep asking questions, they might say like, yeah, why were you asking? Do you have another way to do it? Or is there something that you wanted to know? And you could be like, yeah, I mean, it's not what you're telling me, it sounds to me, and trying to create the problem, because I don't know what they would say, but like, it sounds to me like the website's working great, but the functionalities of the website are not really fixing your guys' problem. It's giving you an outlet to just kind of filter them, but the filter part is not really there. Is that what I'm hearing? Or, whatever. And then they might say like, yeah, we get on a call with a lot of people. Either they want us to follow up with them, so then we have to market, and you can ask them like, okay, what does that follow-up process look like? Like, what are you guys doing for that? And you just writing it down on a piece of paper? Are you putting it in Excel? Are you, putting it in Google Sheets? Are you sending out emails? How do you follow up through the emails? And now you're really just like
Right.
holding
Yeah.
in and probing on what they're doing without even trying to sell them anything. Like, change the inflection in your voice, right? Like, so what do you do? Like, you guys are using Microsoft Excel, like, and they would be like, yeah, or okay, how many, out of the 10 phone calls that you get, how many tents are you selling? Right? And they would be like, yeah, maybe like 4. Okay. Do you think there's a way is there a reason why the other 6 didn't get sold? Right? And now they'll start telling you, with you just asking these types of questions. And from there, you say, some of my best clients that we have, we've been actually implementing, AI into their stuff. And it sounds like this could really work for you. Would you be opposed to jumping on a call with me? I can kind of show you, and maybe we can get rid of some of those like weird things that you're doing with the Excel, and having Sally make the phone calls, and
Yeah.
sending out these emails. I might be able to help you, but I don't know just yet. And then just book that meeting, right? Don't try to sell them anything, and then go through the entire 3-step process. We're going to build, and don't charge them $150. I mean, maybe you could, but like for someone like this, I wouldn't charge the $150 because, they're already your client. They're actively paying you, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the hosting and stuff. Yeah. So
Right.
I wouldn't charge them money for that, but I would stick to that process of, let's build out the project scope. Let's present you what it would cost to do it. And you could probably do it yourself, or you can have Adam and Brandon build it, however you want them to do it.
Okay.
You're in our VIP group too, right?
Yeah,
You're in the partner program?
I am not. No, not yet.
Yeah. So if you wanted to build it, whatever, however that works, that's not a problem. And then just go to them with the proposal, and you custom build that proposal document for their needs. And since you have already built their website, now you just drop in the AI and
Gotcha.
sell it to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
The biggest thing is, I didn't see this because I think when I graduated college and when I was in college, I went straight into corporate. And so like I got trained by people for sales that, you know, had been doing this for 45 years as their career. Like we sat in a classroom, I worked with them. And at the time, you know, I learned from the best, and I didn't have bad habits in sales because it was like, that was just how I started my career after college.
Right.
And doing this on my own now, I think I take it for granted. Sales comes very easy to me because I've been doing it for so long. And then when I talk to you or talk to other people, I have a hard time trying to teach it because I just know it. I don't think I'm a very good teacher. I get it. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I try to go back. This guy, his name was Bob. He was an Austin sales trainer. And it was very difficult for me to understand it until it clicked. If you ever learn another language, the same exact thing happened to me when I learned Spanish. Was like, I just didn't understand. I don't understand why you conjugate the verb like this or do this. And then one day it clicked. And that I try to get that clicking point for everybody that I try to talk to, like yourself. And I think I'm bad at it. Like, I'm just like, no, you just got to ask open-ended questions. It's like, yeah, but what are those open-ended questions? And that part, I don't know how to explain or teach. It's just try to remember it as just a regular conversation and forget about the end goal of let's sell this. Just kind of like come back down and act like you're talking to a buddy of yours that's telling you about his business of like, and you're confused, like almost like act like you're confused. Like, okay, so I don't understand what happened. So you have this website, they come here, and then what happens? Like, okay, great. And you just keep acting confused. Maybe that's what you do. You just act confused and like you're trying to have them explaining it to you like you're in 5th grade. But then you keep that end goal of trying to sell them something in the back of your mind, because that's how you're going to gear the conversation right up to it.
I see. All right.
I have a hard time, I guess, like trying to explain that to you or to anybody really, because it comes natural to me, but I'm not trying to make it seem like it's easy, because it's not easy.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. Well, thanks, Nick. I appreciate it, dude. I've got to run. But thanks.
okay, yeah, if there's anything that you need, just shoot me a message, and if you want, I can help you on call, however you want to do it.
Okay.
We can go from there.
All right. Perfect. Bye, guys. Have a good Sunday.
Okay, you too. Bye.
I got to run too. Thanks for this, Nick. Scott, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you guys. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has any questions. I don't even know how many people are in here. It's just us. Mauricio is here, but I haven't seen him. But yeah, if anybody has any questions anymore,
This
I
has
would
been
go play golf
really-
today, but it's raining.
this has really been helpful. I think kind of laying the process out the way you just did it opened my eyes to a lot. You know, I've been through the course, which is great. My email farm is almost warmed up. I got about like another 7 days, so I'm working on building out lists and cleaning them and getting that part ready. I am about to have somebody build out the job profiles. so that I can put that in place as well. But I'm probably gonna have a VA do that just because there's only so much time in the day, and I looked at your prompts, so I'm like, start.
Meaning, what do you mean you're gonna have him fill out the job?
So like the Fiverr profile, like you've done, and kind of following your model, and then I'll clean it up, but at least get it started so that I can put that into place. I think that could be very helpful. So the things you have put out here are great. I finally spent time yesterday going through all of my Google Docs and getting them organized so that I knew where the templates were and where the the proposals. So I've now been through that in a logical format. Now it's just a matter of driving traffic. And some of it I'm testing going straight to, will they just buy the bot right off the bat?
Right.
And some of it I'm looking at, will they get on a call? So I'm driving them to a page where they can kind of make that choice. Either way, they've got to get on a call with me. I don't have pricing up anywhere. However, with the new voice and the ability to add in North Star documents in an assistant, I may actually see how a pricing bot works. So it's just lots of ideas to try.
Yeah. I stick with just a few and just get that first step down, right?
Yep.
Because you'll get pulled into a bunch of different, angles, and it'll distract you, and then it happened to me too. Like this, well, as long as you have the machines running in the background, it'll always keep going. That's the thing.
That's the beauty of the cold email, where I've finally sat down. I really, really like that. I am testing Facebook ads too, just because if I can find one that works, again, it's a machine, right? It goes and does. So, but yeah, I've kind of pulled back in, LinkedIn and Facebook groups and all of a sudden you're like, God, I'm trying to build everything and I'm not selling anything and getting out of that model. So I really do like your process. I think both Brendan and I are very excited about our email farms being warmed up and ready to go. And I was thinking about actually joining LeadJ's Gen Inside program just because it looks like there's probably some really good information in there that I don't have yet.
Yeah, he does. He does have. Was I in there? No, Dominic was in there. But I think he got out just because he's been tied up with work.
He's got like a lifetime offer for his insider course.
Maybe he does. Yeah, that might be new.
So I thought I would, if it's a one-time fee, not a monthly, I'm like, yeah, I may look at that just because the data is good and you're in the school group and can see some other things that may enhance what we're already doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think and your notes were impeccable. Thank you. That saves so much time of trying to go through a 4-hour video and how am I going to get to there and remember all of this?
Yeah, that took me, I'm not kidding. I think that probably took me like between 40 and 50 hours to make that. That was because I stopped it, I understood it, I took the screenshots, I wrote my notes.
It's really nice now for those of us that are starting because like you're never going to remember that 4-hour video, right? It's like, okay,
No.
now I had your notes up on one screen watching. I don't need to take any more notes because Nick's notes are perfect, and I just literally am taking each piece of that and applying it. I am working on trying to maybe interface Clay, just to get a better targeted, what I know about your business to catch your interest, but the rest of it's pretty straightforward. I'm curious, do you use any AI in your email to kind of quantify that first statement? Do you actually have looked up the company and know something about them, or are you just going with what you have?
Well, I built a scraper to get what the scraper does is it gets the leads and then it runs it through Apollo to get their email address. And then from Apollo, it runs it through Million Verifier. And then from Million Verifier, it puts it instantly into the leads. So I just need to give it a document or a website or somewhere to go. And then it does that. So it's like a couple clicks of a button, and every night at 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, it runs. So that way, it's not AI. I had somebody on Upwork build the scraper for me. So that's what I'm saying is like, that's what I'm saying is like the government website that has the licenses for your contractors. for your HVAC, for your pool. Like all those people have licenses, right? So instead of you manually going and find, and this is where there's a should I stay or should I go, right? Because it's like, first test it, see if you get responses from it. Then if it works, then you can go and spend $600, $1,000 on building a custom scraper for this. But don't go and spend the $600, the $1,000 before, because if you don't know it works, now you're out $1,000. Now, if you have extra money laying around that you're like, I think this will work, or maybe you've been in the contracting business for 40 years and you know it's going to work, like, yeah, then go do it. But hit it first, like let it happen, see the results, like, okay, yeah, this actually could work. Then do it yourself manually for a little bit. Like I think one thing, we think everything has to work so fast. Like, it's okay for things to just go slow. I'm in this right now. Like, we got the new AI from Adam and Brandon. And I have a new funnel stuff that I'm going to launch for basically everybody in the Go High Level, official Go High Level account, right? And I want to feed people to my affiliate links because it's working. I never in my life would have been like, oh yeah, let's have a Sunday call, right? Paula said that she's going to join the Go High Level VIP, right? That's amazing. Paula, do you feel that I sold this to you?
Not at all.
It's something that you need that's going to make your life.
It's going to make my business better. My life. It's the partnership,
right?
It's the team. It's the team.
So, and everybody can do this, right? Adam and Brennan have an affiliate program. Everybody can do this, right? And so I'll make, I don't know, $100 from it. That paid for today. Thank you, Paula, if you join, right? And so if I can scale that, that's great. I could run ads to it. I can run ads to my Lead Gen J notes. That's my lead magnet. I can run ads to my, I don't know, whatever, the email course that I have. That's $29. I can run ads to, I'm going to maybe launch my sales calls that I close, all $63,000. That'll be maybe $100 to watch all my sales calls, like live, raw, uncut, right? And so those little things, I record my sales calls, but I never thought to sell them, right? But people are asking for them, and I'm like, huh, okay, like that's cool. Those just sit in my Fathom. I never thought about selling them. That's a product, and so there's little products that are out there that you have, like you have an expertise in something or whatever it is that you can use as a lead magnet to get those clients and use it to your advantage. And scraping those, like the scraper or whatever you want, see if it aligns with your end audience before you make it into something, right? Because then you just waste your time. And I've done that for a long time. Like until I really met Adam and Brendan, and I've talked very highly of them because they fulfill everything that I didn't have or I don't have. Like their thought process, their mentality. I'm a sales guy. I'm like, let's go do this now. Let's go do this. No, we'll figure that out later. But they have all that figured out. So that's why it works. And I really take what they tell me or what they teach and what I see. Now I've kind of slowed down. It's like, not everything has to happen so quickly. I part of it is probably because I'm from New York and everything just happens quickly. Like living in Mexico, chilling, not everything has to happen so quickly.
Technical question for you based on that. When you said your scraper goes to Apollo and pulls it out, are you using Apollo credits to pull those out, or Just curiosity on how you're doing that.
To be honest, I don't know.
And I assume this was a
I
Python
built it,
script
and
that
I'm
was
like,
built.
well, I was like, who's paying for this? And he's like, no, you get, let me see the pricing. So on the free zero account, you get unlimited email credits. So you get 10,000 a month per account. If you want to, so the scraper is just looking at them. If you want to export them yourself, then you have to pay.
So the scraper is actually able to go on to.
The scraper is using the free 10,000 a month per account and just copying it.
Brilliant.
But then what's happening is then I have to pay for it in verifier.
Yeah, but at that point, you got a lead that's worth verifying.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, because I was asking him the other day, I'm like, so how are we getting these emails for free? Like, I'm not paying for Apollo, but he told me, he's like, no, we get 10,000 a month, and the scraper is taking that out, and so then the email's there, but the scraper is extracting it, so it's not using the free account. I mean, it is using the free account, but I don't have to pay for it. That's how.
I like the ideas. It's just really, really cool. I'm using, like, again, Apollo and doing some of these things, and I'm doing it manual like you suggested in the beginning. But I learned some things out of the course as far as taking those saved searches and then pushing them into a list instead of going, I've got to export them. You can just take the URL and pull them out to a database. Like, okay, cool. That means you can do that. And then using Clay to pull that in and then run that against a verifier and then run it against
Clay?
Like, Clay is a automation tool that will allow you to connect different sites together. Like, I will pull lead lists in from, let's say, Apollo, and then from Apollo into Clay. Clay will then allow me to run a routine where I can run it against Anthropic to scrape a website and then pull the content back from that website and then push that data from there with that format back into Instantly. So basically the same thing you're doing, but not having to go have a custom person build it. I've already got somebody that has done that part.
So it's almost like Make or Zapier.
Yes and no. It is not in a format like a Maker Zapier where you're looking at workflows. Think about being able to put routine. You would have those routines, yes, but then it's more in a column format. So you've got to kind of think through, okay, it's coming here, and then I'm going to take the data, and then I'm going to manipulate the data that I wanted. So it is a similar idea. And then using another tool called Curation AI, where the guy's building basically recipes. And I was talking to him, he's like, hey, I can build out the routine you want. Because I was like, I want to be able to go out, pull these people, tell me whether they have a chatbot or not. If they do, what chatbot format is it on? Are they advertising or not? And give me something about that company, the value that I can talk to them about when I reach out to them. So
Yeah,
same.
I tried to build something like that inside Python, and it worked to an extent, but
I'll let you know how it comes out. We're going to be testing it out this week, but it gives me the data for this. And he's like, once you figure out what you want, then you just, same thing, you're loading a list, or he can, you can use his system to go build a list, finding it where you want it and tie it to LinkedIn and tie it to everything else. It's just a matter of credits and everything. But again, knowing the system the way you built it or were taught to build it, I'd already built out 2 other farms for another company, doing this. So my personal farm is split between Infomail and what Lead Gen J has put together. So I'm going to be very curious because I'm going to run the campaign against each other to see if there's a difference in response rate or through rate or everything. So I've got 300 boxes in this farm that's being built. So I've got plenty of capacity to do a lot of testing, because that's where it really starts.
Is this Clay thing expensive?
It can start free and go all the way up to, I was paying $358 a month for it to do what I wanted with all the APIs. But like everything else, you pay for credits, but I wasn't using a whole lot of Clay credits because I was able to interface with the APIs to other tools. But if you want to build internal, you can use internal credits, and I think it's $358 for like 10,000 actions a month.
Yeah, I see it right here. All right, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna look on YouTube and figure out how these guys are utilizing this.
Yeah, there's a lot of good information on there, and I'm working with another guy that's already built a table out, so we're testing it together. So I'm testing a couple tools against each other to go, which one's more efficient, which one's going to be more cost effective for what I want to do. And quite candidly, it may depend on the model we're going after.
Yeah.
But, you have kind of helped me solidify how am I going to get to the high ticket builds, because everything else before was productized. But part of that high ticket build
is the easiest thing, man, is really just having a regular conversation and having them pay that $150 up front. And a high ticket build to me is anywhere between $5,000 to $20,000 and beyond. Like, we can adjust it to how much it costs, depending on what the price that Adam and Brandon give us, right? You can have your margin there, but at the same time, like, if it's a small little spot, you're not going to overly charge them, right? Like, don't be greedy on the amount that you're going to make, because I don't know, for me, it's like, I'm going to sell it to you what I think I can sell it to you for.
Right.
But at the same time, this isn't a Nick wins on everything. Like, you might have people that you're in a business group and you might refer me to them if this project goes well, right? And, I mean, at the end of the day, it's business, but like, I don't know. I mean, I would like to get into like $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 builds, with
they're there. Yep, they're definitely there to be had, no doubt about that. And I think your idea of the qualifying call with a small price on it is brilliant, because it does, I'm just going to get on a call and do I want to do anything versus, hey, I've got your stuff ready that you paid for, and it's not an exorbitant fee, right? It's, we did the same thing in the technical world. We'll do a full network assessment for you. We're going to charge you X number of dollars for it, but if you work with us, we'll apply it towards the work.
I have told everybody that if you work with us, we'll take the $150 off, and not one person has ever asked for the $150.
But it's just it's the psychological piece, right? It's like, oh, okay, great. So I'm putting this.
By that time, we forget about it. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, no one has ever said, "Wait, I thought that I get the $150 off." Like,
that
maybe I'll take $150 off, but it's never gotten to that point, because at that point they're excited. They're like, "Yeah, this is great. I'm ready." Blah blah blah. So, but
well, I appreciate everything you put together. I know Brendan and I have been talking and kind of working our way through it. I'm definitely going to use you for a couple sales calls. The trial part of what I've been doing has already led me to just showing people the demos has led me to a couple very potential mega deals. Just by hey, what do you think? Oh yeah, that one could literally be life altering.
Yeah, I hope it goes through.
So, it may take us a couple months to get it closed, and I'm fine with that. It's just, you keep swinging, and all of a sudden, and it goes in parts. Like, so we had that call, and literally within 2 more days, I got 2 more on that are large going, and, like you said, you get to the first one, then you've got that case study of, hey, we just did this for this company or a company like this, and you've got a true real life, we've implemented this at the highest level, and that opens all sorts of doors.
Yeah, then it just sells itself.
So, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to jump. It is not rainy here, and I got things I got to go outside and do.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm going to probably jump off of here too. I hope everybody, I answer everybody's questions. I hope in the beginning the PlantUML document helps. I'll upload this to YouTube so you can go back and watch it. But we're here every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. If I get enough people to request, time changes or maybe add another call in, what I'm thinking about doing is maybe we have like, I have my sales calls. You buy this one-time sales call, and then that'll give access to
let's have another call on another day at the same time, and we focus that just on sales, right? Just on sales. So use those what's it called? Those sales calls that literally the calls that I did 63,500 in sales in 6 weeks. And they're just the raw, uncut videos. I'm not even going to go edit any of them. It's just like, I talk about, my sister's having a wedding. We were just in LA. We did this, we did that, whatever. And, offer that to everybody that wants the sales calls to help you. And then with that, maybe unlock like another day, because I also got to look at my schedule. Like, I'm busy too. I can't, can't be on Zoom calls every day, which I already am. So yeah, I'll be confident with it.
I think that's an awesome idea, Nick.
I think you're the one that gave me that idea.
I think it's a great idea. I mean,
I think that's a great idea. I have a question because I actually slept in today after working my ass off last week. Did you put in a document today that I missed? Did you upload any documents to chat that I missed today?
No.
would you share the link to that second GPT you did so I can follow your flow? Because you were kind of working on my model.
Yeah. No, I did it. We went over something called PlantUML to help get you organized.
Okay, I'll watch the video when you upload it.
How do I share?
There's a share at the top right of GPT. There's like a share button, like the old social share button.
Yeah, you know what? They don't have it on the desktop app, so I gotta open it.
Actually, on the desktop, if you are on an hang on, let me get one open.
Are you guys talking about ChatGPT?
The top right there's it just says share next to your initials for your ChatGPT account.
Look, I'm really sharing my screen to show you.
Yeah, you see that.
It totally should be there, Nick.
Yeah. Top right, go left. Why do you not have it?
That's cool.
I know what you're talking about, but if I go to
Wait, but do you have a share at the bottom? Like
Yeah,
at the bottom of that?
Yeah, yours looks different. Your initials are at the bottom left. Mine are at the top right.
So then look at the actual ChatGPT thread, and you may be able to share it from the thread. So go to the thread, and then go down to the bottom of the thread.
this is the bottom.
You were right. It says share chat where you were just at.
Yeah,
You
go,
clicked on there.
yeah, go back.
to whatever you just did.
There you go. Cool. Awesome.
And then it's very, when you scroll, yeah.
Thank you. This would be really helpful to go back to the call and then walk through this, doing it.
Yeah, just record it on your phone. Like, that's what I do. I just blabber it out, talk, and I'm walking around in the kitchen, like having a conversation with ChatGPT, and then I hit send. And at the end, just say, build me a PlantUML code so I can see this visually. Right. That's really the only thing I shared, Kathy.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. That'll be really helpful just to build out. And I never thought about talking to ChatGPT the way you are, so I learned a lot today.
I literally, sorry, Nick, on your phone, if you have ChatGPT on your phone, you can use the mic and talk to it. I'm always talking to it. Two of my kids thought I was talking to myself, and they realized that it's ChatGPT.
The bigger piece for me is if you want tell it how you want to talk to it. So when you go into the settings and add in, who you are and all of that, and tell it what to say to you. So I have it say cool stuff to me every time I engage it, and it talks back to you now, and you get to choose the person who talks back to you.
Yeah,
So
there's
you just have
two options. There's one.
Yeah.
Like it'll transcribe the
It transcribes in both. One, it just says it to you before it does.
yeah, and then the other one is like you just have a real conversation, like, and it's legit.
Okay,
That's
so
what
you
I
gotta
do.
you want to hear something funny? This is TMI, but I'm just gonna share it. Me and my husband were having a debate, and we like to at night we like to talk to ChatGPT to tell it scary stories or urban legends of different states, right? It's just something we like to do for fun. So yesterday we were having a debate, and I'm like, okay, ChatGPT, you are our therapist. Tell us this is our situation. And I went back to ChatGPT and told it, and then ChatGPT told us how we should resolve it. And my husband goes, "See, why spend the $200 when you have ChatGPT to handle
Right.
it for you?"
I actually created something the other day for my YouTube videos because I found myself doing this a lot. And Nadeem just said in here, like, you can create your own custom assistants. So, thanks for sharing these videos, dude. I'm going to check these out. What I did the other day is probably what Nadeem just shared, something similar. When I upload my videos to YouTube, like, I was going through this whole thing of creating timestamps, creating all this stuff. So I actually had ChatGPT take our AI prompt and turn it into a upload video prompt. So I just named him Peter. You're Peter. You're a growth assistant specializing in maximizing the SEO for our YouTube channel. Your task is to process outline below to create necessary elements for the channel. Use the transcription and the vidIQ data. So before we start, first request the text file or the SRT file of the transcription so that I can use it to generate accurate timestamps and chapters. Then, based on the information, request Nick to get the keywords from vidIQ to formulate 10 titles with these keywords. Create the 10 titles and then pick the top 3 and explain the reasons why these titles will work with the SEO. And then it goes through, write the video description based on long tail keywords and incorporate the vidIQ key phrases, include the timestamps, add the call to action, here's the titles, then give me YouTube tags, both long tail and regular, 3 hashtags, and then incorporate the chapters and the timestamps. Don't make shit up. And now all I do is I just copy all of this into ChatGPT first, so that I'll go like this, come here, create a new one, and now I don't have to type this. This used to take me 45 minutes just to do. Now I just have a template. So then it says, please upload the SRT file. I upload that, and then it asks, okay, give me all the vidIQ details. And then maybe I did this last week with the last video because I was like, damn, this is going to take me forever. So now today, when this video is over, this is what I'll do. And it will just upload it right to YouTube for me with all the stuff organized. So if you find yourself redoing like a task, if you find yourself doing something over and over and over again, just make your own prompt